My name is Marissa Young, and today I'm going to talk to you about segregated workshops. How many of you have ever had a job? How many of you have ever interacted with a person with severe developmental disabilities? How many of you have worked directly with people who have developmental disabilities? As a former employee of the Lake County Board of Developmental Disabilities and current part-time caregiver to a woman with autism, I will argue today that the workshop setting should be reformed or dismantled because of their many problems, including low pay, dead-end placement, abuse, and neglect. First, I'm going to describe the current situation. According to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, all individuals, regardless of disability and age, can work and work optimally with opportunity, training, and support that build on each person's strengths and interests. According to Atai Orr, a documentary filmmaker, he defines segregated workshops as government or nonprofit subsidized workplaces, often warehouses or factories, where significantly physically or mentally challenged persons work for low wages in order to acquire job skills and vocational experience. In Ohio, these segregated workshops are often run by County Board of Developmental Disabilities. And in my experience at the Lake County Board of Developmental Disabilities, workshops are further segregated into habilitation, work training, and work groups. Workers with developmental disabilities are often referred to as clients, which is a term I will be using often in this speech. Now I will describe to you the current problems. The first problem is low pay. In Ohio, in August 2011, the Columbus Dispatch studied federal wage documents for 69 out of Ohio's 88 counties and found that 70% of the 21,000 Ohioans with disabilities who are employed and receive services from county boards are stuck in sheltered workshops. As many as 1,000 workers are receiving less than a single quarter per hour in compensation, and 80% were receiving less than $3.70 an hour. The National Disability Rights Network reports nationally consumers can earn as little as 10% of the minimum wage. This translates to about $175 each month, whereas traditional jobs take home $456 a week. So how is this wage calculated? A disabled person's productivity is compared to about 3 normal workers. So for example, if a client is determined to have 50% productivity, they will make $4 out of a normal worker's $8 wage. Another way clients earn a wage is through piecework, and in piecework a client is paid for each piece of work that they produce. When there is no work to do, no money is to be made. This is often because private companies hire workshops to fulfill quotas within their product line. When there is not a demand for the product, workshops must look elsewhere for other companies, creating layover time where clients do not work. According to the 1998 amendments to the Americans with Disabilities Act, these layovers cost the United States billions of dollars in unnecessary expenses resulting from dependency and non-productivity. The above conditions create an endless cycle of poverty for those with developmental disabilities. A second problem is dead-end placement. The work performed in workshops is often menial and repetitive. For example, at the Lake County Board of DD, our main supplier of work was a pet bedding company, where clients would just fill bags with pet bedding all day long. They didn't perform other tasks or functions besides filling the bags. There were no opportunities to do other work. Workers are often placed in a sheltered, isolated environment. This gives them virtually no opportunities for socialization in a real-world workforce or positive modeling behavior. They are often denied the ability to make meaningful job choices and, therefore, meaningful contributions to the workforce. I once had an experience with a client who read high school level books or higher, and during breaks she would help me and the other clients with puzzles. She disliked doing the fiber core and pet bedding, but she had no choice or opportunities to take her talents elsewhere even though she had the ability to. Clients who have the opportunity to make their own decisions have been shown to increase self-care, self-esteem, and social skills as a direct result of wanting to work. A third reason why sheltered workshops should be dismantled is because they often practice abuse and neglect. One example of abuse and neglect is punishment for non-productivity. Some workshops have been known to place hot sauce or other irritants on their clients' hands to prevent them from placing them in their mouth. This is usually placing hands in their mouth as part of the disability itself, and it's used to soothe. However, the rationale behind that is that if they're not putting their hands in their mouth, they're going to be working more, which isn't true. Another example of punishment is isolation for long periods of time where the client is placed in a themselves until they are either remembered or deemed fit to return to work. Workshops also house unsanitary environments. These conditions extend from the home setting to workshop environments, especially when the home and work are around the same facility. In my experience, some clients would come to work filthy. Most personal hygiene should have been taken care of in their home care setting, yet I found myself washing their faces, combing their hair, shaving, and brushing their teeth in the morning. Some clients even had adult diapers that had not been changed since before they went to bed the night before. Workers may not be able to voice their complaints about grievances because they are unable to communicate, or their personal advocates in the workshop do not properly do their job. Neglect is also abundant in the form of ignorance because there is virtually no education of their rights, such as notifications of advancements in the field. One advancement I saw that was unequally distributed among the clients was the change in technology, and which would allow them to be more productive. One example of this technology is high-powered wheelchairs for easier mobility. Another example is a lack of communications among clients who couldn't use them. Some clients had iPads to help them learn and communicate, while others were left with frantic and frustrating hand gestures, which often led to negative behavior. Because of this technology, clients are no longer forced to perform low-skill jobs because of these advancements. In summary, current segregated workshops are problematic in that they promote low pay, dead-end placement, and abuse and neglect. Because of these inhumane treatments, segregated workshops should be replaced or dismantled. I will leave you with the words of Maria Navratilova, an Olympic tennis player. Disability is a matter of perception. If you can do just one thing well, you're needed by someone. We may not be able to change the segregated workshop setting immediately, but we can change the way we think of those with developmental disabilities who, just like you and I, provide for themselves and their community through work.